Where do you see yourself at? So, if you look here, on the left side is what our slave masters have called us, right? Over here, you see these are the 12 tribes of Israel. This is the true nationality of the people that are on the left side. So, do you see yourself on the left side of the sign right here? No? Are you? Where did your father come from?
He's Jamaican.
He's Jamaican? Okay. So according to the Bible, he would be from where? The West Indies, right? So according to the Bible, you will come from the lineage of Benjamin.
That's right.
You understand? That is your true nationality, because let me ask you, what does West Indian mean?
Bring it out.
Okay, let's break this down for a second. West is what? West is a location, right? Indian means slave. Indian means slave. Black is a color in the crayon block. Right. So this says the direction of slaves that are of a color in the crayon box. Is that a nationality? No, that is not a nationality. But no. God says that you come from the tribe of Benjamin.
That's right.
So let me ask you, what happened? Why do we call ourselves West Indian today?
Deep.
You don't know. That's what we out here for, bro. We're gonna show you, according to the Bible, how the West Indians, or the so-called, you said from Jamaica, how they lost their heritage and their nationality because they broke God's commandments. And we're gonna prove that they are the Israelites according to the Bible. Listen to this. Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. So we're gonna read out of the Bible. You ever read the Bible before?
I've been to church and stuff like that.
You've been to church? Okay. Are you familiar with Moses?
Not really. It's been years, so I don't know.
Okay. Do you know about Moses leading his people out of Egypt?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to read about what Moses told the Israelites. They told them about a future prophecy. Listen to this.
Look at Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So Moses is speaking to who? To the people of Israel. So he's not talking to anybody else, right? Now we're going to jump through the Bible a little bit to chapter 28. Listen to what Moses says to the Israelites. Read.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So read that one more time, and we're going to explain it a little better so you get a better understanding, right? You said it's been a while since you read the Bible. All right, come on.
But it shall come to pass.
What's your name, bro?
Nasir.
Nasir? All right, Daniel, listen to this.
But it shall come to pass.
So this is a future prophecy. Read.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So what does hearken mean? If you were to hearken to something, what does that mean? It means to hear, to listen, right? So if we did not listen, read.
To observe to do all his commandments.
So if we did not listen and do all the commandments, who is Moses speaking to? To the Israelites, read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day. That all these curses.
So there will be curses if they did not listen to the commandments, read.
Shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Will come upon us and overtake us, right? Meaning that, come upon you meaning like your shirt. It's attached to you, right? That means it's connected to you, right? Overtake meaning that you can't escape it, right? So no matter where you go, you still gonna have these curses that will follow you, right? So jump to verse 45.
Look at Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 45.
Bring it out.
Moreover, all these curses.
So we're still talking about the curses, right? Read.
Shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee.
Shall pursue you, meaning that it will come after you. Read.
And overtake thee.
And overtake thee, meaning that you can't escape them. Read.
Till thou be destroyed.
Thou be destroyed. Because we're saying that the Israelites are still here, right? So what is it talking about? We're mentally destroyed. We're so mentally destroyed that we call ourselves West Indians.
Right.
We no longer identify who we are today. God said that will be a curse. Now jump to verse 46.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
So the curses shall be upon thee for a sign. So let me ask you, what is a sign?
Sign like mean as in like.
What is a sign for? What does it mean? How you doing, sister?
How you doing?
All right. So what we're showing right now is that the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites right now. So this brother here says he identifies that he's West Indian, right? Where would you see yourself on this sign?
Like I was telling him over there, either I know my dad is either Native American or Black American.
So either Native American or a Black American, okay. So you can see that he's either a Black or he's either Native American. Regardless, these still fall under the 12 tribes of Israel, right? So the curses that we're talking about that identify who we are today, God said that it was because we broke his commandments, right? And no matter where we go upon the earth, that these curses or punishments for breaking his commandments will follow us. So we're reading more about, trying to get more understanding about what are the curses. So read verse 46 again.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
So God said that the curses will be upon us or connected to us for a sign. So I was speaking to Nazir, right? He was trying to explain what is a sign, right? So let me ask you, what is a sign? How would you explain a sign?
I don't know, maybe like a visual or something.
A visual or something. For instance, you have a stop sign, right? A stop sign identifies for you to stop your car, right? So you don't go through and hit somebody else, right? Just like you have a sign. For example, how would you identify McDonald's?
Logo sign.
You see the sign, what does it look like?
M.
Like an M, right? So you can identify clearly that it's McDonald's. So let me ask you, have you ever walked into a 7-Eleven thinking it was McDonald's? No, because a sign is clear, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to get it confused with anything else. So God said the punishments for breaking his commandments would identify clearly who the Israelites are. Right. Read that again.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
And for a wonder, because you ever wonder why we're the ones getting shot down on the streets? You ever wonder why we always in the poverty area? Why we always in the ghettos? Why are we the last hired and first fired? Why are we under the Section 8? Why are we under oppression?
Bring it out.
You ever wonder why? God said that the punishments for breaking the commandments will be for a wonder for us, because we're still wondering why these bad things are happening to us.
Right.
Read on.
And upon thy seed forever.
So these are generational curses, right? They've been passed down from father to son, father to daughter. These are generational curses that have been passed on for many years, for existence. Right now, it's 2019, right? Aren't we talking about the same things that we were talking about in the 1960s?
Yeah.
Were we still talking about in the 1960s? They were talking about stuff that was happening in the 1800s.
Right.
These are generational curses. So we're going to show you one of the curses that identify that we are the Israelites today. Give me verse 37.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 37.
Actually, go to verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So when we look on the earth today, which people on the earth had their sons and their daughters given to another people? Look at that sign. Which people on the earth? We have blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They were given to another people. Where? In slavery.
That's right.
We were given to another people. We were given to our own people. God says, read that again.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Will be given to another people, a different people. Today, when we look at the border of Texas, right, and Mexico, don't you hear about daughters and sons be given to another people? Who's the other people? The so-called white man. They're taking our sons and their daughters, and you have our people pleading for our sons and daughters. But God said, what will happen?
And thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
God said we will look and fail for longer than them because we're trying to get them back and we can't. Read.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
There is no might in our hand, meaning that we have no military might and we don't have the economic might.
Right.
We have been weakened to the point where we cannot get even our children back. Today, what do they have? DCF, right? If they say that you're not treating your children right, what they would do, they would take your children, right? Are these your children?
No, these are my nieces and nephews.
Your nieces and nephews. So their mother, if they don't treat their children right, they could take the children away from them, right? And how hard is it to get them back?
Yeah.
Very hard to get them back. That's why God said there will be no might in our hand. No economic might and no military might. Jump to verse 37.
Verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment.
So he said, we as a people, the Israelites, will become an astonishment. Do you know what an astonishment is? You know, the astonishment is something amazing, right? So when we look at ourselves as a people, right? A lot of our young black men and Hispanic men, they wear their pants sagging, right? But when they buy a $500 belt, isn't the belt supposed to hold the pants up? You gotta go. Hey brother, when you get a chance, take a look at that sign, all right? That fly, that you're the Israelites according to the Bible, right? Huh? All right, brother. So God said that we will become an astonishment. Don't you find it amazing that we would buy a $500 belt to hold up our pants? So wouldn't you find it amazing that our brothers will buy a $500 belt to hold up their pants, but they wear their pants sagging? God said that's an astonishment to our people. The other nations look at us like, why would you do that? But in our heads, we think that we're doing something smart. We're doing something cool. God said that's an astonishment. Read.
Astonishment. A proverb.
We have become a proverb. What is a proverb? A wise saying. For example, they say, if you want to hide anything from a black man, guess what you do? You put it in a book. That is a proverb against our people. Right. Who is the people that who's talking to in the Bible? The Israelites. Right. Read on.
And a byword.
And a byword. A byword is outside of what God calls you. God didn't call you native Indian, right? God called you in the Israelites. Right. You understand? That's your God-chosen name. So what we're proving is that our nationality would be changed. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 26. We're going to show you in the scriptures that God prophesies that the Israelites would have their names changed, that their nationality would change. That's why we don't know who we are today. Right. Got that?
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 26. I said I would scatter them into corners.
God said he would scatter Israelites into corners, into the four corners of the earth. Read.
I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
God said he will make the remembrance of the Israelites to cease among men. Because what do they say about the Israelites today? They said they're the lost 12 tribes, right? They no longer exist. But God said that he made the existence of them to cease among men. And they were scattered around the world. So my question to you is, how do we get scattered throughout the earth? Bring it out. How did the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and woman, how did we get scattered around the earth? Do you know?
Slavery.
Through slavery, right? What kind of slavery?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so are you familiar with the transatlantic slave trade? Are you familiar with that? Where black men and women were taken from the west coast of Africa and transported on ships to the Americas. Are you familiar with that history? A little bit?
Not really.
So how did the so-called black man in America, a woman, get to America? Slavery, right? So this is the transatlantic slave trade. We were taken in slavery onto ships. That's how we were transported. Did you know that that was prophesied in the Bible that would happen to the Israelites? Have you ever heard that before? No, you never heard that? Okay, listen to this. We're going to read it out of the scriptures.
Bring it out.
We're going to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
God said he would bring his people into Egypt again with ships. Are you familiar with the Bible, any at all? Have you ever heard of Moses?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you heard of Moses, right? So Moses took his people out of what? Egypt, right? But guess what? Egypt has a specific meaning, and we're going to read out of the Bible, what does Egypt mean?
Book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
So he brought the Israelites outside of the land of Egypt. Read.
Out of the house of bondage.
Out of a place of bondage. What does a bondage mean?
Like captivity.
Captivity.
That's
means
right.
Slavery. So God said he will bring us, go back to Deuteronomy 28:68. Listen to it again.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68.
Bring it out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Egypt means what? We just read it.
That bondage.
Bondage, right. So God said he will bring the Israelites into bondage, slavery, captivity again.
With ships.
With trains.
With ships.
With planes.
With ships.
God said he's going to bring the Israelites into slavery again with ships.
That's right.
This is the term. We lift up the sign. This is the transatlantic slave trade. Now I wanted you to come a little closer. What does it say right here? It says, to be sold, a cargo of 94 prime healthy Negroes. Who are the Negroes? We are the Negroes.
That's right.
So God said that the Israelites will be transported in the ships. Who are the people that were transported in the ships? The Negroes, meaning that we are the Israelites.
That's right.
We are God's chosen people.
Right.
God said these signs would clearly identify who? Us, right? It didn't say it would be all people. It said it would clearly be a sign for the Israelites, right? Read on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
We never seen our homeland as a people again. Where is our homeland? Jerusalem. Israel is our true homeland. Right. That's where we truly come from, read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Then when we got to the Americas, we were what?
Sold unto your enemies.
We were sold unto our enemies. Who did we get sold to?
White people.
We were sold to white people.
That's
read.
right.
For bondmen.
For slave men.
And bondwomen.
And slave women.
And no man shall buy.
And no man shall redeem us. We have many people that try to rise up. You have Malcolm X. You have Martin Luther King. You have Marcus Garvey. You had in the Caribbean, Toussaint Louverture and Haiti. There's many people that try to rise up to take us out of the conditions, but they can't, because God said this will be a sign for us until we turn back and learn God's commandments.
They will see the treatment of God. We are not black men, we are the Israelites.
So hard to serve God. And why when I say that I'm a Jew, it sound odd? For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sounds wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcast, and stay up to date with us. more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.